Imagine a 23-year-old graduate named Rohan. He did everything right, completed his degree, secured decent grades, and came from a family that believed education system was the key to success. Like millions of young Indians, he entered the job market full of hope. But months later, Rohan is still searching. He applies to hundreds of jobs, attends interviews, and even considers roles far below his qualifications. Eventually, he settles for a low paying job that doesn't match his skills. Not because he wants to, but because he has no choice. Rohan's story is not unique. It reflects a deeper structural issue in India's economy, that is, the jobless growth. India today is one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. We celebrate rising GDP, a booming startup ecosystem, and increasing global influence. But the real question is, who is this growth benefiting? Jobless growth refers to a situation where the country's economics Jobless growth refers to a situation where the economy expands but employment does not grow at the same pace. In India, this gap between economic growth and job creation has become increasingly evident over the past decade. Every year, millions of young people like Rohan enter the workforce. This demographic dividend should ideally fuel economic progress. However, without sufficient job opportunities, it risks becoming a demographic burden. One of the most concerning trends is the high unemployment rate among educated youth. Even those with degree are struggling to find stable and meaningful employment. There are several reasons behind this. First, India's growth is largely driven by capital-intensive sectors like technology and finance. While these sectors contribute significantly to the GDP, they do not create enough jobs. In contrast, labor-intensive sectors like manufacturing, which have historically driven the employment in countries like China, have not expanded in the same pace in India. Second, there is a serious skill mismatch. Our education system often emphasizes theoretical knowledge while industries demand practical and job ready skills. This creates a paradox. Companies cannot find suitable talent, while graduates cannot find suitable jobs. Third, a large portion of India's workforce is still employed in the informal sector. These jobs are often low paying, unstable, and lack social security. Even when people are employed, they may not experience real economic progress. Additionally, the rise of automation and artificial intelligence is beginning to replace routine jobs, further reducing opportunities in certain sectors. The consequences of jobless growth go beyond unemployment. When young people struggle to find jobs, their purchasing power decreases. This directly impacts consumption, which is a key driver of India's economy. This also leads to rising inequality, as wealth becomes concentrated among those who benefit from the high growth sectors. Over time, this can create frustration, reduce social mobility, and even lead to economic instability. So, what is the way forward? India needs to shift its focus towards employment intensive growth. First, boosting labor intensive manufacturing is critical. Initiatives like Make in India should prioritize not just production but also job creation. Second, the education system must evolve. Skill development programs need to align closely with industry requirements, focusing on practical training, internships, and emerging digital skills. And finally, there is a need to formalize the informal sector, ensuring better wages, job security, and social protection for workers. Now, coming back to Rohan. His story should not be the norm. India's growth story cannot be judged by GDP numbers alone. It must be measured by the opportunities it creates for its people. Because true economic progress is not just about how fast an economy grows, but about how many people grow with it.